Hi, I'm Emily, the Creative Director for Heartfelt Creations. Today I'm bringing you the Celebrate the Journey collection. I love this collection. It really celebrates those beautiful moments in your life. We'll teach you how to create tags and how to do some fun coloring techniques on a new luggage case die that we have. So join me, we'll learn some great new techniques together. So to get started, we're going to show you how to stamp this luggage piece and cut it out with the coordinating die. So in the die from this collection, we're using this piece in the background. You'll also see some great tags in this collection, and we'll show you in a little bit what you can do with those. So to get started, what I did is I created the stamped image, and I stamped this with a brown, or you could do a dark blue ink, or the Versamark, and I embossed it with a rustique nail embossing powder. The best way to remember it is rusty nail embossing powder. It's not quite technical name, but that's what I remember. So what you're going to do is, for this die, is you can lay it right on top of your die and press the tape down. You'll see that there's this square and there's a larger edge, so you don't have to make a template on this one. You can pretty much just look through the window and make sure that everything is lined up, and then just press your tape down and run this through the machine, and that will cut that out for you. So I'll go ahead and run this through. Today I'm using the Cuttlebug embossing the Cuttlebug die cutting machine and embossing machine. You could use whatever manual die cutting machine you have, and then you can go ahead and pull that out, and this luggage case is ready to be shaped and colored and glittered and so forth. So to start out with the shaping process, I'll take my scissors and just snip through these edges, since these are the edges we're going to fold. There is a little bit of a folding line around the edge of the suitcase, so I'll just snip through, and the straps as well. So we'll do that on each one of them. You can do it by the handle on both sides. I love all the different options with this specific suitcase, because you can make it into a very masculine luggage piece, or you can make it all girly with a lot of bling. Okay, so all those pieces are cut, so you can go ahead and just bend it forward, and I'll actually just fold this all the way. You kind of have some cuts that are only coming down halfway, but that is okay. So I'll just kind of fold that, fold this in over here, and then we'll go back and fold it on this side as well. So then you have these tabs on the end, and I'll just usually kind of crease those over a little bit. You could use a score pal and add an actual score line in there if you liked as well. So we'll just push that over, fold that. Okay, so we're ready for gluing. Now you'll see on this specific card, I just did a single layer suitcase. So you have that option. This one was just stamped, and I'll show you how to color and embellish like we did on this one. Before this suitcase was assembled, we ran it through on an embossing folder, which gives it a nice textured or a leather look. And then we added some glossy accents to this one. So you can go ahead and do just a single layer. If you want to create a single layer suitcase like I glued this one, what you'll do is you'll take your glue, and you'll basically just glue those tabs together. So I'll just put some glue on this tab over here and just tuck that underneath. And I'll hold that a little bit. And while that one's drying, I'll put some glue on this tab. So you'll put the glue on the outer tab, and then I'll pop that out. And then I'll just hold it for, if you're using a liquid glue, you can hold it for maybe just a couple seconds till it's kind of bonded. Then we'll go to the other side. Put some glue on both tabs. So it's a very quick and easy way to make some embellishments that are 3D, and I love the luggage piece because you can add our flowers to it, and you can make some fun interactive pieces on your projects, whether you're doing your cards, altered art, or your layouts. So that is glued together. Now you can use these individually. You can pull these straps up. What I did on this specific suitcase, after I had shaped it and everything, I went back and added a Versamark ink and embossed that handle, and that made that it looks like a metal handle on the top. So you have these suitcases separately. You'll notice on this one On this project, they added a double layer suitcase. So if you're creating like an altered piece that you want quite a lot of dimension, go ahead and layer the two on top of each other. I'll try to kind of hold this in the back. You'll see that she put a strip of paper in the back to kind of hold that together. And I'll show you how what you do. You can do it on the back if you're not having the back show. You can virtually just take a piece of paper. You could do a different color so you could see a little bit, but you can just glue it on the back. Or if you want to have this suitcase open up, what I would do is glue it on the inside like this, and you'd have a hinge so you can open and close it. So if you want to do it on the inside, oops, I should have used a different piece of paper so you could see a little bit better. But you just glue those two together, and that will create a hinge that you can open and close it and put something on the inside. I'm going to show how to color this just individually, so we'll switch gears and go to that. To add some color to the suitcase, you can start out with a pastel background, however you like. I'm just adding some quick color in the background, and then I'll switch to an olive green. The first color that I used was the pink pastel, and then I'm using a olive green pigment ink. Since it's pigment, it'll kind of blend a little bit. So I'll just add a little bit of that green background. I wanted to add a little bit more shading in that, so what I'll do is I'll use my distress inks and a piece of clear cardstock, and I'll just add a couple drops of the re-inker to this clear cardstock, and that'll give me something to pick up just a little bit for some shading. So I'll use a Fantastics. This has a little sharp foam tip, so it kind of gives you an option to just add some quick coloring. So you can add a little bit more pink in the shaded areas if you like, and you'll see that it really looks kind of distressed pretty quickly. The distressed inks that I'm using are the Sponge Sugar and the, let me see, it says Bundled Sage. Those are pretty creative names. So if you're doing the suitcase, oops, I just tapped into my ink. Let's just tap this off and go back into the pink. So you can just go back into these different areas. If you have too much color on, just kind of brush off on a piece of paper, and that will kind of get some of the excess off. I'm going to dip into my green. This is darker, so you want to be careful how much color you have on that tip. And you can go back and just add a little bit of green coloring in there. If you have a little bit of too much of a blotchy outline, you can go back and just kind of sponge around those edges with that sponge dauber, and that kind of just fades it together. Do you see how that kind of pulls that out? I'll add a little bit more darker green in some of these areas. Once some of that extra green has come off of your tip, you can go back and just kind of brush it out a little bit. So I'll do that. Usually on mine, I do a little bit on the straps as well. We'll do a little bit on this side piece over here. So just add a little bit of shading. You don't have to be fussy about the coloring on this one. Once you're finished with it, we'll go back. I'll pull this aside so I don't accidentally make a mess on that. We can add some crackle paint to the top. You'll see on this one, it has the crackle paint, and then we'll add the glitter. So if you want to do this technique, you can remember color, crackle, and glitter. And if you want, you can say that really fast, and it's kind of like a little bit of a tongue twister too. So we'll just put this over the top. Let me just move this a little bit aside. And you don't really have to put it on smoothly. And once that's dry, it'll be very crackly, and it'll kind of give you a distressed vintage looking case. So put that back in. When it's wet, I added some pink Gala glitz across the top, and I just put some shards, a little bit of those glass beads, and you can put on as much or as little, but I just grab a little bit in my fingertips and just kind of sprinkle it over the top to add some texture and dimension. So I'll add a little bit more on this corner. And once you have it like you want it, you'll just lay that aside to dry. So the suitcase is very fun to create. Just use your imagination, whether you're embossing, glittering, or using the crackle paint. So the next step is using some creative tags to incorporate with your cards and your layouts. With the tag die cuts in this set, you can create a lot of different tags with sentiments for your journaling, for your layouts, and your cards. So I'm going to show you a couple different variations. So you'll see that I have a couple different tags laying here. They're so much fun, and really the creativity on them. You can add those flowers here. We just tucked in a little leaf, have a very happy birthday. So to get started, the first thing, you can do a couple different things, but I'm going to cut out just the basic die shape because I'm wanting to achieve this background. With the way the stamps are situated on that one, I'll go ahead and just cut it out with the die first. So we'll just tape this down. Sometimes I have a template in there because I want to actually line it up with a stamp after I've stamped it, but I'll run this through the machine and we'll cut that out. Just pull this out of the die, and then we'll go ahead and stamp this sentiment on the tag. So you'll see that this one is going the opposite direction. I'll actually go ahead and stamp the journey one first so that I can see where to position this other sentiment. So we'll go ahead and ink that up, and I'm using the Northern Pine stamp. It's a memento ink. It's a great color for this collection. We'll just make sure that that's inked well, and then we'll stamp this right on the bottom of the tag. So you'll see that beautiful image, and then we'll stamp this other sentiment sideways. So that adds some interest and character to the tag. So this is just a quick and easy way to make your own tags, and you can use whatever sentiments you love, but we designed some perfectly that match and coordinate with this tag set. So we'll go ahead and just give it some firm, even pressure. Isn't that beautiful? It just looks like it was meant to be. So we'll add a little bit of a background using our map. There's a beautiful map stamp in this collection, and what I'll do is I'll just ink up portions of this map. You don't have to use an acrylic block with this, and I'll just stamp it randomly over the top. Do you see that? Isn't that cool? So I'll just kind of, you can have the ink pad like, oops, had a little bit of a crash there. So we'll go back. And I'll do a different, let's get a different area so we get a little bit different design. So you can kind of just curl up the ink. So with this one, it's cool. You don't have to use that acrylic block. If you want to have it softer, you could stamp off on the side and you could go back on that and you'll have a very light pattern. So you can do whatever you like. So you'll see that background. Some is light, some is dark. So you can kind of choose whatever you want to work with on that. You'll see that on this specific one, we just did it completely light, and we added the second tag to the top. Now in this set, you will notice that there's this die that has these little circles in it. That is actually a little clasp. You'll see it a little bit more on this one. We tucked the leaf underneath it. So this is very fun. You can cut it out in different colors. This one is actually the same color as the base of the paper, but you can add just a little bit of circle of glue around that tag, and then just add that circle on top, thread a ribbon through it, and you have a finished tag. Now I usually go around the edge, and we sponged a lot of these tags with like the Northern Pine, or you can also go back and add the flowers, the leaves, whatever embellishments that coordinate with your specific card, layouts, or altar projects that you're working with. But I love it because oftentimes I have a hard time figuring out where do I put the sentiment, how do I work it in? So the tags just add that cute little element on your scrapbook or your card. This collection has 6 different stamp sets, and the first stamp set I'm going to show you is the one that coordinates with our Once Upon a Time die. The Once Upon a Time die is actually going to end up coordinating with 3 different stamp sets from the March, April, and May collections. So this is the stamp set that coordinates with the Once Upon a Time die. So you've got your circle sentiments in there, and you have the wheel for the bike wheel, and some fun world maps in a circular. You can also do stamp and cut this out with a die. I have that featured in my March video, so make sure that you look for that. So you'll see that we created this with the hot air balloon. We added the little sentiment circle on there. On this specific card, we just added it on top of a fancy label. You can also create epoxy circles, which I'm going to be showing in the next video of the month. Then we have the little hot air balloons on the top, which makes it look very nice. So this set is very versatile. We also have this map card. Here we just stamped it as a focal point, but you can also use it a lot as a background. And this is the map image. I love using it as a background for my stamping. This is the All Occasion Sentiment Pre-Cut Set. I make a lot of tags out of this one, so you'll see the sentiments in here, and then you'll see these tags. So we have a lot of different shapes. Some of these words on the tags are also from some different sets, but you'll see a lot of these sentiments come out of this stamp set. So here you have two sentiments combined together. So that one's the All Occasion Sentiment Set. Then we have our luggage case that has a sentiment in it as well. So you see the Luggage and Sentiments Pre-Cut Set, and then here's another tag that was created in the background with those words. Here I have the luggage stamped and cut out. Here we have the luggage piece and then the tag. Now, one thing that's good to note about this tag size, you can actually tuck a gift card behind it. So if you want to have a creative way of giving somebody a gift card, just tuck it in behind this tag and you'll be giving a gift to a friend with a special card. We also have this dress collage image that I absolutely love. You'll see it in a stamp form here. You can stamp it in the background on paper and then just 3D the flowers. Or as you see on this card, she stamped it on a couple different pieces of paper and then just layer that up. So that makes a really stunning effect with that. Or you could also just stamp it in black and color it in and you get a completely different look. So you'll see a lot more samples of this one online. So these are the stamps, and then we'll go into showing you the different paper styles as well. Another favorite that I absolutely love in this set is the balloon and bicycle pre-cut set. This one has the bicycle, balloon, and two sentiments that can be cut out with the tags. Here's just a cute, fun way to use the bicycle. Here the flowers were enhanced in the basket and by the wheels. We also have just a classic colored effect on it, so you can have a lot of fun creating the bicycle of your dreams. Over here we have more of a shabby chic, and then here's one with a hot air balloon along with a sentiment. This is the Celebrate the Journey paper collection. There's 24 double-sided sheets, and there's 2 sheets of each design. And on the inside, you'll see that you've got some great card designs that are kind of done for you. You can just add your own embellishments. So the first couple sheets kind of start off with that. I'm just going to show you the front sides, and then we'll flip it around and show you what the back looks like if you don't want to use the fronts. So here we have most of these card sizes are the 6x6, A2, and then we also have some that have your open card front panels that you can cut out the base with the ovals, squares, rectangular dies that you might already have. And then you'll see these tags. Those can be cut out with this new die that we just released, so it makes it very nice. This is the double page layout sheet. I'm going to show you the back right away so you can see that you can use the double page layout together since there's 2 sheets in this pack. And then we have the 6x6 sheets in the collection as well. This is beautiful for card makers or just a basic mat for your photos. So you'll have that on a couple of the sheets. I absolutely love this one with the tags and the postcard in the background. Here you have the old world map, and then this finishes off with a tag sheet. So these tags all coordinate with the new dies, and the tags in your Celebrate or the Once Upon a Time collection will also match with these tags. So the backs are more neutral. This one kind of has a paper line. This has the fun words. Then you have a full sheet of those tags in the background. Those are so fun to use. So you'll see that the backgrounds are definitely very neutral. The color palette is beautiful. You have some darks, and then you have a splash of aqua and pink in this collection. This one has a title, Journey of a Lifetime, in the top there, and then Celebrate on the bottom with To the World You May Be One Person, but to me you are the world. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to ensure that you won't miss future videos. You can also leave some comments below. I love to hear from you. You can let me know what you loved about the video, what you learned, what you'd like to see in those future videos. If you need more inspiration on this specific collection, visit our gallery at heartfeltcreations.us. The designers will blow you away. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.